I'm gonna do a little thing, bit the word, something a little different. I've been playing a bit of GTA roleplay offline, just to kind of find my legs a little bit. It's still a bit shaky for me, like joining a group of people that already know each other and you're kind of find your place. And I somehow joined at a very dramatic time. So, the way this goes, actually, not the. We're playing on a server called Quiet City RP, and it has active cops and active EMS and lawyers and mechanics and taxi driver. And I'm playing as someone called Norman Cradduck. Dapper gentleman in a bowler hat, driving a cab in America, as you do. And there seems to be comes like some warring faction in the city. You got the police on one side, and you've got a group calling themselves SYT. Now, I can't remember what that actually stands for. But things got a little worse yesterday. So, it was kind of agreed with police force and what have you. There's going to be a sanctioned fight tonight. So set up police and the ambulance in attendance, so people didn't get hurt and too badly. And there would be a certain amount of matches between people. And so what happened was we got ferried up to the top of a building in the centre of the city. Had like a big flat area, and these fights took place. See, people cheering on their side, so the police were cheering on the police department, and the SYT were cheering on their dudes. And the final match of the evening was between police chief, who it was called Officer Tenpenny, who apparently has got a bad reputation. No one likes him for some reason. And I suppose the fan favourite called Arthur Trout, who was quite an old geezer. Hobbles about. Probably sounds like he's 80 years old. And so there was a fight between these two people. So when the round started, Tenpenny gave him a couple of punches and he went down. And he stopped moving. And he didn't get up. And he couldn't be revived. So all of the other rounds, the people had been revived or put back together, but this guy actually died. So now tension has got a little worse. I'm in the centre of it really, because of really a side that I've aligned to or anything. And Yeah, so today is pretty much the fallout from last night. So we'll have to see what kicks off. Sometimes quite easy to find other players or wildlife up here. Because the map is a bit smaller than Reddit. Doing taxi fares at the moment. So I'm doing taxi fares with the NPCs, but sometimes I'll get a phone call and someone will ask me to do a taxi fare for them. Let's see who's on duty. Got 3 police, we've got no ambulance people on duty. Got 5 taxis, 2 mechanics, no real estate, and 2 lawyers. But it's kind of at the moment because I'm new to the town, it's very difficult to kind of find your footing. I suppose, you know, I'm playing my character very sheepish, very I wouldn't say naive, but new to America, definitely. Posted. It's actually got Twitter in the game as well. Not real Twitter, fake Twitter. Or was it kind of sparks things like it does in real life, really? Quite a good setup. I mean, the fact that you're playing in a world full of NPCs as well. And players. I think the maximum we'd had on the server at one time was about 30. Something like that. Well, maximum 58. But I didn't used to get fares way out here. I mean, the amount I was paid just then coming from the centre of town all the way out to about $700. Check my crypto, shouldn't I? Of course there's crypto. Oh, up in Valley, 316. People keep giving me crypto sticks, but I don't know what they are. I kind of think I know what they might be, but I don't think my character. Being a dapper gentleman. I did start off doing an accent, like a posh English accent, but I haven't been able to keep it up. Oh. I know. whether it's tiredness or what. I was the fallout from the character death yesterday. Up till 3 in the morning, being the last people come off the server. The thing because of people stream their stuff. One thing I haven't done. Quiet CRP. If on it. It's better. You obviously gotta eat food and drink. Sometimes find the emotes. Got several standard emotes that I go to for certain things, but the town. That rattling. Find fuel. Right, be a quite quick. Only filled up coming out of town. Nah. Tank is full. And one thing I always forget is what side the drive it. and get in the passenger side and wonder why the car's not. Police aren't very strict about road rules. And if they catch you moving around at 200 per hour, they certainly give chase. Okay. That was. Journeys in the city. I think you do only like 2 miles. It's very rare that you go out the city. Big paying jobs. Buy food at cafes and pizza places. Sometimes the catering actually has staff on. Normally a good bar that everyone frequents called Tequila La. It's good. Bum, 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 bum. I find it just relaxing being in. Very, very cool. Where are ya? Oh. Where are you getting dropped off? They never close the door properly and it really bloody annoys me. I did wonder whether, obviously my character is not stiff upper lip type posh, but he, kind of typical Brit in a bowler hat. So he's quite quiet, which kind of matches how I'm in RP at the moment. Learning the ropes, so to speak. Kind of nearly got into trouble yesterday. Not real trouble, but trouble with characters. When everything was kicking off, after the fight night thing, everyone gathered at the pub and there was in character arguments and a lot of pushing and shoving, and we were in the pub, which was kind of like a wake, if you will. No, we haven't had the funeral yet. He only died yesterday. And I spotted someone dancing. And I didn't like that so much. So I punched him. They didn't like that. I did go up and apologise later on. There's part of me that kind of got it a bit mixed up. There's a couple of characters, because of GTA's characters, many of the characters look very similar. And I spotted, I thought was a policewoman. You know, I really could have got in more trouble, I suppose, policewoman. very similar. But this there is a bit disrespectful. She was dancing. Dancing at a place where people were kind of decompressing afterwards. Turned out she was a friend of the deceased. Whoops. They close the door when they get in, okay. That's not a road. So, I suppose part of my thing I might want to do today, see if those people are around and apologise properly. Now it's all died down a bit. Because there was a thing really pinged it.
Good news, I'm pregnant again. Oh, it'll be fine. The tax credit alone pays for the first 3 months of diapers. And I've narrowed the dad down.
Yeah, so I might want to see if they're around at the pub, perhaps. Basically trying to earn some money so I can buy a house somewhere. At the moment, technically my character is probably living out of motels. Afford. Yes. There's a little dropping them off at the same place. I left my door open. Right. I'm gonna think if I'm playing this character, a posh British dude, then whether he can actually maybe think about going out of his comfort zone, maybe becoming a biker or something. Cool. Still waiting for there's a person come online. I might want to train up as a an EMS, an ambulance person. Moonlight as a taxi driver on the site. If that's possible. In the other jobs that were available, you got police, you got ambulance, you got lawyers, you got real estate, you got mechanics. You also got garbage men. So we got hot dog salesman. Fully work though. No, they don't do it. Do. That was for you. There's trucker. Oh no, tow truck. Person. Doesn't really work. It's buggy, I think. See. You actually have to put your seatbelt on, just in case you fly out the front window. Also, delivery. Okay. Person. Thing. Open. No one is around. Figure out how to out. Right, there's a lamppost. I think the difficult thing is, I found more difficult in Red Dead because the map is so big. So you technically don't know where anybody is. You just got to go about your business. Let's go to what you maybe know as some of the hangouts, perhaps. Even though there's a list of online people, you don't kind of go, oh, they're online, so I'm going to go see them. Organic enough. I'm having to drive with keyboard because the voice chat, my mouse button. See, I can't drive with iPad. Press the mouse button. Only got two hands. Oh. 2 miles away. 200. Who was the? When you're trying to follow the road, kind of. It's a bit difficult knowing what the rules are, especially the freeway system. Spaghetti to me. Very difficult. I suppose RP can happen when random come across people. Been a couple of times where maybe just before I came online, the random occurrence. Someone had I don't know what happened to them in the van. They must have been going along the freeway and accidentally jumped out. So they were lying on the freeway, so I zoomed past and I was like, is that what I think it was? Body lying on the freeway. So I reversed up the freeway, see what was going on, and I arrived. The ambulance was right there, so I.
You got a face like my ass. Just die.
Yeah, so about running out of fuel. Better to be safe than sorry, I suppose. Kind of see the progression, you know, thinking about how old this game is compared to how old Red Dead is. You can see how things have moved on a little bit, because this game was great. The tech for this game was great when it came out, but it has been completely surpassed by what Red Dead is like. Red Dead feels a bit more organic. It looks better, but it feels a bit more organic. This, when you come back to it, feels a bit more sterile. Like, you know, the characters and things that you walk past, they're just reading a script to you, shouting out random words.
Hey, remember to call me, no?
Like that. I think it was to try and make the world feel alive, you know, if you hear random conversation, but sometimes it's like the NPCs call out you specifically, and if more than one does it at once, you're like, it kind of breaks the illusion. Why are they calling out to me specifically? Some of the RP has happened where I've just taken random fares from players. Feeding some of the, getting to know some of the people. hopefully won't be staying up till 3 AM tonight. Oh. It does fill me with a lot of hope, though, if they've built on the tech that Red Dead 2 is built off of. Not only is it going to look good, it's going to feel alive. I don't think we've had a game, open world game, quite like that. Feels organic, live. Tech just wasn't there. Airport. Did decide yesterday that my character Norman probably has a slight fear of flying. I was actually tempted to throw up in the helicopter, but I didn't have any emote for it. I didn't fancy mimicking vomits.
Not again.
Oh, come on, you're only going half a mile. Can't you walk half a mile? He's literally going from one part of the airport to another. And he's using a taxi for it. There is a few bugs with the taxi. I've picked up a job where it told me to take the character 50 meters.
Yo, over here. What's up?
I'm feeling it picks random locations, but sometimes it picks them far too close together.
Lord!
They don't close the door, and it will keep making that clank clanks. Yeah. Oh damn it! I did say I was going to go to the cat cafe then.
We still on for that bet, right?
And Norman maybe needs a bit of time to decompress after yesterday. A lot happened yesterday. And again, it was very weird feeling like I was on the outside in. I didn't know any of these characters. I have no emotional attachment to them at all. So, like, well, I was just kind of standing around handing out booze. I did have quite a funny interaction with the chap, the character that died. Had an RP wife called Irma. They're both very, very old. And I was tasked with kind of just waiting outside the pub, waiting for people to come out and maybe give them a lift. And came out kind of maybe a little bit drunk. Told me to take her home. I did so. And it wasn't a long journey. But it was a long enough journey for me to ask her a couple of questions. Kind of asked her, you know, if you've got someone to go home to, someone to look after you, perhaps. You're not alone. Said no, it's me and my pussy. So yeah, you can kind of guess how that went. Really any grip on that. Be that slippy. Be driving off. Sliding. Hell of a rate though, $125 up. It was when I was kind of before yesterday, everything was kind of building up to Fight Night and stuff. So many people streaming at the same time on the server, and I kind of had 5 different streams on my screen. Some of them looking at the same viewpoint, some of them looking at completely different points. And some of it was funny to witness going on. Antics that were happening. Some of the people were just kind of going about their business and their thing, like I'm doing now. And then others were engaging in, I don't know. It was like a comedy act. People that never good supervising. Close my. What are you doing? Climbing over my cab, honestly. Take pictures and send tweets. Which is kind of funky. So what I've tried to do with Norman as well is make him he is old. He's about 50. Got my maths right. I've kind of tried to make him a technophobe. Which kind of leans into the fact that I don't know some of the controls so much, so I'm fumbling around with a mobile phone and don't know how to send a tweet properly, and I make really weird tweets. I always sign my tweets with my name. Sincerely, Norman. Where's the... Yeah, my funny. So value. So crypto has been going up a couple of percent. Well, total value, because I've bought quite a few. Buy another one. Then they're gonna have lots in pockets. Witness some pretty hardcore stuff, yes. And sometimes it's quite difficult to remember what would my character know. I know. So the stuff that I witnessed on stream can't be spoken about until it actually comes up organically. There's a couple of characters that I've been on stream that I've actually interacted with. We don't technically have an in-game friendship. I have just been their taxi driver. Stuff I witnessed yesterday, how it went down. Maybe deserves me checking up on these people. Norman knows them. Saw what happened.
You fucking idiot!
Actually, that reminds me. Maybe I should send a message. Yeah, Very odd. Very odd. I think maybe a lot of people aren't online today because yes, although some people are online, but I don't think they're actually streaming that. Come on. Need to go down the other end of town. Yeah, the cat cafe as well. Show you cafe. Cat cafe, innit? The cafe with cats in. Well, it was close. My headlights are the first thing to go. Driving around in bloody dark. Feel like Saturday today. Work done this morning. Highlight of my month because
Wow! Just wow!
I have to do yeah. At least that's done for a month. Brace myself for next month. First, because there's not any text. No, quite the opposite. There are 5 of us today. Probably someone else is there. Player carrying. So I don't know if it's a bug or a way it's supposed to work. There's a lot of professions, particularly the police and the ambulance service, go on and off duty. But the taxi drivers aren't allowed. They're always on duty. Unfair. Considering in real life you're able to turn duty light. Remember if I've actually bring that up to devs to ask. A feature or a bug? Pizza place? Sometimes the cafe, the cat cafe is actually staffed by stuff. But it is cat cafe, cafe with a lot, and they lower your stress. As you can imagine. A bug with A5. Something like you pressing 3 buttons at tell which cars are players. Because they're the erratic one. Like me. And you can normally guarantee that if you hear siren, that's player. Do an accident. From an accident. Maybe arresting somebody.
Where the bitch is at?
I'm over my car, are you? Up off at the fuel station. Broke some cat. Won't be getting station cancel. Tempted him to stream today. 'Cause quite tired. so confident. Upright. Got several emotes and got my nervous one. Got my crossed arms. The thinking one. Plenty of others. Funny it's locked. Staff on. Find a pet the cat. Places like this probably. Okay. Boxes. Prop. I didn't know there was an upstairs. Okay, it's my first call today. Good evening, Norman Taxi speaking.
Norman, I'm so sorry to bother you. My name's Theodore Carter. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question, please?
Of course.
So, Norman, do you work with a guy called John by some chance?
Don't work with anyone.
Apologies. Do you know anyone who works in the taxi service with the name of John?
Not really. We don't seem to communicate that much. Don't know who John is.
Well, in that case, do you know anyone who drives a black car with pink/purple stripes down the middle, who also works as a taxi driver?
I don't believe I've seen a car like that. No.
No, no worries, Norman. Well, thank you for your time anyway, pal.
No problem at all.
Right, take care.
Yes. That was probably a lawyer. I'm guessing. Collecting evidence, perhaps. I wasn't lying. I don't technically know any of the other people in the taxi service. let's check the Twitter. I've got a couple of people. Trying to remember. So Keith was the. He's actually another taxi driver. Cindy Clawford, actually a member of staff at the Cat Cafe. I think the other people are probably passengers that I've met. So here's there's a kind of a little bit of in character controversy because the my car there, I've got one of those, but where I left it. Ah. Dude. So the controversy is that obviously the SYT, this group of oh yeah, I was going to the station. This group of called them group of youths. They all have boy racer cars. They're all Scottish for some reason. We had a run-in with them at the pub, where one of the members, for some reason, because they'd been aggravating folks and getting on people's nerves and pestering others, but they hadn't done anything too bad. Outside the pub we were at, one of them tried to hit and run a few people. In fact, they did hit and run one person and needed to be in character taken to hospital. And I think that's Ona Little. Well, my phone book. Haven't seen her since. Also haven't seen her character. So it's very hard to kind of be on their side when they pretty much tried to kill you, because they nearly run me down on the pavement, and I went to the police station to make a statement.
Come on!
So the chap that in character died yesterday as well is a member of SYT. I called them the Scottish Youth Theatre, but it's something else. The old guy was actually a member, and that's why they weren't too happy with the police chief that no one liked accidentally killing him. You know, the police chief was saying, well, shouldn't have entered the fight if he was that frail, and you know, stuff like that. So I've got some animosity, if I can say the word, towards the SYT, but I've got no allegiance to the police force at all. apparently in some upcoming updates, there's going to be gang warfare. I suppose it's well timed, really, for what's going on in the game at the moment. I don't know if they were NPCs or players, but I thought I'd give them a toot. It's strange that this... I don't think this server is technically set in the UK. But it seemed to have attracted lots of people from Scotland. Very nice hearing all the accents and things. I enjoy it. I know there's... I think there's a lady that streams New Lisa Life that plays a character called Brenda.
I'm gonna get that just to see if I can.
She's Irish, I think. A few Americans in there. But it just weirdly seemed to attract lots of Scottish people. Yeah, he doesn't like you pressing 3 keys at once.
No, I can't hang out tonight. I'm going to an Epsilon meeting. No, I don't believe any of that crap. Because that's the only way to land any decent gigs in this town, man.
Right,
Yeah, well,
go down this way. Technically, we're going to end up at the same place. So. Oh! I hate this section of the map. Oh, I do. So, something about I was watching some streams yesterday. After I'd kind of come to the end of what I thought was my roleplay, and I was just so damn tired. I think I finished roleplaying at probably about 12 or 1, something like that. And continued watching others. It's an NPC. Okay. And obviously the fallout from the bloke I mentioned earlier called Keith. This is his in-character name. So he felt really guilty. He was the one that actually set up the fight night and got all the fights arranged and ferried everyone up to the top of the building and did all the advertising and stuff. So he felt really guilty, so he's feeling really sorry for himself. So he was kind of, you know, going off on his own and sitting on rooftops and contemplating life, you know. And there's another geezer called Jeb, who I quite like just because is well, mostly because of his accent, to be perfectly honest. Sounds like accent. Uni. Can't remember. He has a really distinctive accent. And he went up to the roof. Check on Keith. and just carried him downwards. Disappearing glories. That's a bit. That's quite a touching moment, actually. I mean, it's very, very weird doing. Is he dressed like doing roleplay where you have no real what's the word? That's a player. Oh. You have no real attachment to either side of the story. I know. Completely lost my train of thought. Never understood a bit of the map. Oh yeah, I mean, what was going to say. It's weird when you have no real attachment to anyone in the story, but the RP, you know, the people around you that are doing the improv and the RP, can make you quite emotional. I mean, it's not. They tried to treat the RP as very serious. It's still light-hearted in a way. I mean, even the death of a character was kind of not treated really, really serious, but it was still kind of emotional. There was some really good RP from some of the mourners. They actually got you right in the. Punch you right in the chest, kind of thing. Left you speechless. Look.
I have been an agent longer than she's been in casting. Seriously? That
You know, I
show
shouldn't have
is
stayed
so
up.
fucked. Well, hit me
Night
up
City
on
seems well. Ooh. So my alerts do work. Hooray! Thank you for the raid. I've been hoping that the had a notification because I've done some sound routing. Actually have things on my gaming PC. It does work. Hopefully it wasn't doubled. Done my job correctly. Hopefully it wasn't doubled. Did you have a nice time in the city? A bit quiet today because of everything that happened yesterday. I'm not feeling that well because I was up until 3 in the morning. Guy for some stuff. Give me a shout if you need to relax. Like a masseuse. Yeah. I don't think Norman is going to become a criminal. Too nice for. I felt really bad when I accidentally punched that person. And in character, I kind of knew what I was doing. Keep leaving my bloody door open. Oh. I mean, Norman hasn't done anything like that at all. Make sure you hydrate. Really get what? Do 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 do. Well, going to. I haven't actually checked my bank balance. Going on. Whoa! That seemed a bit quick for EMS is busy tonight. That mean I can get some training. A lot of police. 7 police on. Is Owen? It's no. Owen. I want to get started with the EMS training sometime. Norman is a good boy. Wants to help people. And when the fight night was happening, I spoke to a couple of paramedics and got some intel. That's how I found out about who I need to contact. The thing you do feel like when you're doing this is feel like a bit like Sherlock Holmes, because there's stuff that you know personally, but you've got to do the Columbus thing to probe people for information so that your character knows. Sure those sure those lines are gonna blur at a certain point. We probably will get back to Red Dead roleplay at some point. Coming back here, are we? Boop. How money do we have? There's the bank. 2,944. $4,000. I probably want to go to the bank to put some of that money away. You can actually access the bank and transfer money between accounts, pockets. You can actually use a savings account. I don't know the significance. I mean, do you earn interest? Is that a thing? That a thing? See, when the I got someone to test my sound alerts the other day when I was doing racing on Wednesday, but the racing stuff is so damn loud that I can't hear anything else. I haven't found a balance. But luckily, it messages in chat that I can see. Don't get to hear the alert. I'm just thankful that I was able to work out the audio routing. Yes.
Just perfect.
That's the radio. On the radio. I'll close the door then, shall I?
Hi.
Let's have a bottle of water. And cheese sandwich. Now the other thing is trying to figure out, well, who should I contact about kind of moving along, not moving along the story plot per se, but just getting more involved in the, because I don't want to kind of shoehorn my way in. I want to kind of organically be a part of something somehow. What for? Please, no. There we can. There you go. But it's trying to figure out, well, you do to kind of instigate contact. You know, you obviously go to meeting places and things. I mean, hang out at meeting places and hope that someone turns up. I might go back to the bar to see if anyone is there to interact with. Get some more info, perhaps. Yeah. 25. Oh, that's on my keyboard making lights. There we go. Don't like RGB. That's I do have a lighted keyboard, so I can. Three of us. Check the stairs. Again, I think it's quite hard to, again, talking about shoehorning yourself into the plot. Put your seatbelt. What do you get? It's sometimes a bit hard. It's like, think of it this way, it's like going to a party where everyone else knows each other and you don't know anybody, which I find extremely difficult. Why this is kind of jumping in the deep end for me. Posh part of town. Whoa! There's so much doubt. I know it's kind of dialogue is sometimes a bit out of place, but I don't think it, or at least I haven't heard any repeats for quite some time. A lot of dialogue. I hate this part of the map as well. I think it would be quite cool to actually physically drive on in a driving game. I mean, my way of kind of getting to know some of the players is obviously taxi driving is quite profitable. Oops. So I was going to the bank, didn't I? See me. But the fact that you can meet players just by doing little journeys, you can through osmosis. Is that the word? Phrase? Osmosis. You can learn about what's going on. Turn around. These posh houses and these posh cars. I wish it would give me bigger journeys at one time, but that was close. Checking I got my seatbelt on. Wonder if I'm going to get my deposit back. I think you spend $250 every time you take the taxi out. Then it gets returned. I think it gets returned. Maybe if you trash the taxi, it doesn't. Maybe if you damage it up to $250, you don't get it back. I've never really checked if you actually do get it back. Go to the bank. Put some of the money away. Look at that. Bishops, what the fuck? I love how cool it looks at night though. I mean, at least... Well, thinking about this now, maybe the Red Dead map isn't that big. It's just that you have to ride everywhere on a horse. That feels large. But the fact that you're in a car, GTA 5, maybe that's it.
Someone film that shit.
Right. To close our door because the NPC. We should map. Bank. In the motel where my car was. The motel is. Definitely not under M. Oh. Suppose with any luck, these will be a motel. Oh. Listed motel park. Is you? Suppose I'm lucky in that I'm in the city. You're out in the sticks. I haven't had any headlights for quite some time. It doesn't get pitch black. Does it? Very cool to think that whenever you hear a siren, that's a player doing their thing. Bank. We're going to 3,000. Deposit. Yes. Probably need about 10 to 20,000. For a house. Be able to get a house. Don't know. Motel it. If by any luck, might be. Doubt it. Still parking. No. Still parking. Question is, what motel? That one. got with the about the guy that was in the fight. Police Captain Tenpenny. He wasn't actually. There goes my deposit. He wasn't actually streaming yesterday. But he's one of the ones that have got a very interesting accent. This is definitely not going. $24. So the guy has a very distinctive accent. Reminds me of garlic bread. Did a comedy show called Phoenix Nights. He just said if you closed your eyes and you listened to him speak, you would swear that it was actually him. And I failed to get it out of my head that he's not a comedian. The end of his voice. Go on. Next time. Don't know. Boom, 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 boom. I don't think this is a motel. It's not a motel. Come off the freeway. It's just a maze. Oh God. I've come off the freeway, I'm heading in completely the wrong direction. Oh, I'm here now. Now. First I'm just gonna have to go up to the downtown cab. Oh damn it, I missed my exit. Just an absolute maze. God, Where am I going now? Plan. Brenda is online. Hey, Brenda. Oh, yeah. Fine. Hold up. Right. Lucky I haven't nearly run out of fuel then.